Hello again and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a complete TOEFL integrated writing practice question. In the video, I will give you a complete question with a reading and a lecture. I'll give you my sample essay based on the question, and at the end of the video, I'll give you a few tips and suggestions. If you have a hard time reading all this stuff on a little YouTube screen, you can check out the video description down below where you can find everything on the website. For the video, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to actually read the article, and I'll keep the video going for those 3 minutes. But when it comes time to actually write the essay, you should probably pause the video and write it on your own time. So first up, in just a moment, I'll show you the reading. As I said, you have 3 minutes to read it. You should try to take a few notes as you read. So here you go. Next up, you can listen to a lecture on the same topic. While some people argue that starting colonies on asteroids could have many benefits, this claim is not necessarily supported by evidence. In fact, there are several reasons why starting colonies on asteroids may not provide the advantages that are often claimed. One reason why asteroid colonization may not provide significant scientific benefits is our lack of knowledge about asteroids. Despite decades of space exploration and study, our knowledge of them is still quite limited. We don't know how many asteroids exist, what resources they contain, or what conditions are like on their surfaces. Until we have a better understanding of asteroids, it's very difficult to predict what scientific benefits colonization might provide. Next, We can't exactly predict the economic benefits of settling on asteroids. While asteroids are known to contain valuable resources, such as metals and minerals, it's not clear how much of these resources exist on asteroids or how much they would be worth when transported back to Earth. It's not clear whether mining for resources in space would be more cost-effective or efficient than simply getting them through conventional methods here on Earth. Finally, asteroids are just not suitable for long-term human settlement right now. Most asteroids are small and don't have enough mass to generate significant gravitational pull. This means that any human settlements on asteroids would need to be designed to cope with the challenges of low gravity, such as serious difficulty moving around and possible damage to our bones and muscles. These challenges could make living on asteroids extremely uncomfortable and dangerous in the long run. All right, here's your question. Summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to explain how they oppose specific points made in the reading passage. You have 20 minutes to write your essay. You may refer to the reading as you write. Here's another look at the reading. All right, I recommend pausing the video to write your essay, because as I go on, I'll show you my sample essay. All right, as I said, the sample essay is coming up, so make sure you pause the video if you haven't written yours already. Okay, here is a look at the essay that I wrote about this question. So you can see I've got 4 paragraphs. I've got an introduction that starts by stating what the reading and the lecture are about in one concise sentence. The reading and the lecture are about the possibility of starting colonies on asteroids. In the next sentence, I state what the author's opinion is. The author feels that this is a good idea due to scientific benefits, economic benefits, and the long-term survival of humans. And then in the final sentence, I state what the lecturer thinks. The lecturer does not believe that the author's claims are correct. So it's a pretty concise introduction. It's just 3 sentences. Some people even do it in 2 sentences. I feel the introduction is probably the least important part of the essay, so I keep it pretty concise and I focus mostly on the body paragraphs, which you can see are much, much longer. What did I do in those body paragraphs? Well, you can see I started each body paragraph by summarizing one point from the reading. After that, I summarized the matching counterpoint from the lecture. And that's what I did in the first one, the second one, and the third one. Of course, I've done them in the same order as they appear in the reading and the lecture. You can see that my lecture summaries tend to be a little bit longer than the reading summaries because I think those details are more important. A few other strategies. Well, you can see that I've kind of salted the essay with a few transitional phrases, like first of all, moreover, on the other hand, as a result, to be more specific, and in contrast. These are the phrases I think if you've been studying TOEFL writing, you've seen them all over the place. I think they're pretty important. They help to link the ideas together, not just linking the reading and the listening ideas, but actually linking ideas within your reading summary and within your listening summary. So just try to use a handful of those throughout the essay. The other technique I've used is to always make clear where the details are coming from. So I say, the author argues that, the article notes that, the lecturer says that. According to the article, the lecturer challenges this idea as well. He notes. The author claims, the lecturer notes. So you don't have to put these in front of every single sentence in the essay, but you should use them consistently throughout the essay, just to make it always crystal clear where the details are coming from. Now, I'm not using a specific template per se. I just came up with these phrases as I wrote the essay. But like if you want to kind of create your own basic template, these are the phrases you could use, right? I mean, you can almost always use the author argues that. You can put that in any body paragraph. You could always say according to the article, or the lecturer notes that. I mean, you could always kind of put those in. I do notice here I repeated notes 1, 2, 3 times. That may be too many times. I often get comments about that, or I've repeated the same transition a few times. I don't really think it's a problem, but you know, something you could keep an eye out for when you write your own essays. I didn't notice it until just now. And that basically is a TOEFL integrated essay. You can see my word count came out to about 293 words. I think that's about average for me. That's about what all of my essays come out to be. And so I think that's a sufficient word count. As far as a few tips that you can use when you write the essay on test day, I'll mention here that I believe advanced grammar is less important than in the independent task. What the scoring guides emphasize is the importance of including all the details. So in this task, I don't want you to feel obligated to use, as many compound or complex sentences. Don't really emphasize that. Just use whatever sentence feels right, given the details you're talking about. Like the scoring guide for the independent essay mentions specifically like syntactic variety. But in the guide for the integrated task, it doesn't mention that. It just says that the grammar should be correct and clear, and that you should have all of the necessary details. Next up, don't copy and paste from the reading. I want you to paraphrase. You can't just copy the reading word for word. You have to kind of change it a little bit, maybe change some of the words, even change the sentence structures if you can, combine details like into a single sentence if they were, in 2 sentences in the reading. You're being graded on your ability to use the language. You're not being graded on your ability to simply copy and paste. As I said a moment ago, the lecture details are more important than the reading details. So if you're running out of time and you need to kind of cut something short, cut short your summary of the reading. I believe most of your score comes from your ability to include the right lecture details. A conclusion is fine, but not necessary. I don't think a conclusion will improve your score. I took the test a couple months ago. I did not include a conclusion, and I still got a perfect score in the writing section. So it's not mandatory. I recommend about 280 words for this task, a bit more, a bit less, and that's before you write any kind of conclusion. All right, I will leave it at that, but if you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to answer all of your questions as soon as I can. And if you want to know more about what I do, you can check me out online at TOEFLresources.com. That's my website. It includes guides to every section of the test. And while you're there, you could sign up for my essay evaluation service where you send me your essays and I check the grammar and the usage line by line. I correct everything and I make comments about what you have done right and what you have done wrong. And then I estimate the score and I send it all back to you. A lot of students find that a helpful way to improve their writing scores before they take the test. All right, that's it for now, but I'm planning on uploading another video like this in a few days, so make sure you're following the channel. Take care, guys. I'll see you then.